ended the career, he'd be up there as well. He's still a Hall of Famer. But I covered, in a clutch and grab era, I covered Bure when he scored 58 and 59 goals back-to-back years. And we hadn't seen anything like that at that era, because it was Jacques Lemaire, Roger Nielsen type clutch and grab hockey. And it's changed since then. The game has definitely opened up. It's made it easier again for goal scorers, because you can't, hook and hold as much as you used to be able to. But 50 and 50, that stuff hasn't happened, at least in my lifetime of covering hockey.
No, I didn't think that's fairly unusual. Somebody wrote Gretzky had 50 goals in 39 games, and on the 39th game he scored 5.
Yeah. I remember that one, and then obviously Bossy was it was in my Bossy story that I wrote for the NHL '99. I have some really good anecdotes in there from those years of just some of his unbelievable performances when he played for the Islanders. That was my hero growing up.
That was the guy.
Yep, that was my guy. And so when we did that NHL '99 project at the Athletic, I did guys like Billy Smith and Mike Modano. And I can't remember who else I did. Denny Potvin, Marc-Andre Fleury. But the one that I just had a blast doing was Mike Bossy, because I got to talk to his daughter about what type of dad he was growing up, and all that type of stuff, like all this personal stuff that I never knew. And it was definitely one of my favorite stories that I've ever written at the Athletic. That was a couple of years ago. If you look that up, just Google Mike Bossy NHL '99.
Trump's not going to invite Putin over for the Gretzky record, is he? There's no possibility that's going to happen.
I'm just saying that the league is actually worried about. I don't think it would happen, but the league would have. They do have concerns on how this would be handled if something like this happened. And back in the day, Putin used to just come over. Like I remember when I covered Florida back in the early 2000s, late 90s, when Bure and Putin were like buddies. Putin would like literally stay at his condo on Miami Beach. Like it was just crazy. Some of the stuff, some of the stories of back when I covered PAV.
Where are we, by the way? Give us an update on our power play and on our penalty kill. Because I thought the penalty kill for a while, at least, was vastly improved. Is it still? And where are we on the power play?
I mean, for the most part, it has been. Obviously, the goal the other night that turned the game upside down, that turned a 2-1 game into a 3-1 game. The Wild took their only penalty of the game and put the second best power play in the NHL and first on the road in Vegas right onto the ice, and they scored in 13 seconds. It was the second of Jack Eichel's 3 goals. So their power play has not been nearly as good lately. Their penalty kill has been much, much better, but yet the other night when they needed a big kill, they didn't get it. And obviously tonight, we know what's going to happen if they take penalties. We know who they're going to try to set up in that right circle. And guys like Faber and Spurgeon are going to have to, and Bogosian, if he's out there on the PK, are going to have to be ready to block that shot.
All right, and so
or better yet, they've got to do a good job of keeping that puck out of Ovi's hands.
Yeah. So are you trying to project a time frame for Eriksson Ek and for Kirill, or is it just foolhardy to even? It
really is, but I mean, I if I had to guess, I think that we see them on the homestand coming up after the New York trip. I mean, what was concerning today, and look, it's not like this is a shock. We've been saying that if they're going to come back, it's going to be with 2 or 3 games left in the season as it is. Because just by doing the math, it's like, as I joked with John Hines this morning during the press scrum, he kept on calling it week to week. And I'm like, well, we're running out of weeks. There's 10 games left in the season. And he just told us that they're not playing on this homestand, and they're not going to play on the entire New York road trip, which is 3 games. They're going on the trip. But there's no practices on that trip. So they're going to be going on the ice alone. Obviously, it makes sense for Kirill to come on that trip because he had surgery in New York and he can go see a surgeon. And that maybe will be a good sign if he sees that surgeon and he gives him the green light medically to start, his actual return to play. So if I had to guess, I think it comes on that homestand coming up after. But again, would that be a normal protocol if they rush him back that quickly? We'll see. They looked good on the ice today. I will say there were times, and maybe I'm misreading it, but there were times that Kirill was after drills, sort of, I don't want to say grimacing, but definitely leaning on where his surgery was and his injury. But then every time I'm like, oh boy, did he just, does he have to pull himself off the ice here? Or then he just went back to Andy Ness and got back into a regular, ready for the next drill. So He's coming back. You're obviously going to have soreness. A lot of this right now, and the reason why they can't give us a great timetable is they are going to have to see how both these players respond when they leave the ice after all the regimens that they're going through every time. So, but I do think that we'll see them on the next homestand. And then they got, after that homestand, they only got 3 games, 2 massive games.
Wow.
What it's looking like in both Calgary and Vancouver, the way it's looking right now, those games are going to be monster for all 3 teams. And then obviously the season finale against Anaheim.
One last question from the gallery. The Juracek trade appears to be more and more puzzling every day. Does Russo think that first-round pick, et cetera, would be better used for a center or future currency on an already loaded? We've talked about that before.
Yeah. I mean, look, as Bill Guerin said at the time of the trade, it was an investment for the future. Am I concerned? Yes. Just because he had not been, they didn't obviously play him here. He wasn't playing great in Iowa. Then just, the story of the season, you can't even make it up. He's up here, doesn't play for 7 or 8 games the entire time he's up here. They send him down to Iowa and he goes and lacerates his spleen in the first game. So now he's done for the rest of the season. So, you just can't even make it up. And so, yeah, it was a huge amount of assets that they gave up. I'm doing this big story on offer sheets in the NHL right now. And if you think of the compensation that they gave up for a 6th overall pick here, they gave up a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and a prospect. I mean, that, in an offer sheet, that would be your compensation to offer somebody like $9 or $10 million bucks. So they better hope that it works out. I think they're going to give him every opportunity to make the team next year and be in the top 6 for that to happen. Obviously, they're going to they're going to have to just commit to Zach Bogosian being their 7th D, or they're going to have to move a defenseman this offseason.
We appreciate the time. I'm glad Fallness. I hope you didn't charge any rent this afternoon, and enjoy the festivities tonight.
Yep, definitely. Thanks. And Fallness, just always a pleasure and professional being in here with him.
Yeah, that goes without saying. Yeah, Russo. Oh, that's your Russo. That's Fallness. Yeah, there's a big difference between. Has he got any candles going tonight?
Not in my thing. And yours? We're in 2 different studios.
I do have some candles going.
Which is the way that I demand it when I come in here.
Not the ones I got from Dan. I just got my own. No big deal.
It's my fault. I brought up the candles. I should have known once you bring up the candles, we're going to go back down to that old story about how I hoarded all the candles from him. He got 1 out of the deal. I only got 6, something like that. Thanks, Russo.
Yep. See ya.
Russo Radio, who joins us. Usually we go late in the week. And today, I think
you're good. I think you got robbed.
Is it late early? Or is it early late for your Minnesota Twins? We'll give you an update on the season opener for your favorite baseball team, just in case whatever cable package